Step number 3. You see now, we still in the planning session. Planning step, we have 3 plans. If you have very good plans, so we take a lot of process for the plan. In this step 3, there are 5 steps, 5 sub-steps. I will talk with you 2 steps on the management objective, indicator, and benchmark. Yesterday, you did this one already. Vision, you develop vision. You develop goal. And today, we're going to develop objective, indicator, and benchmark. You can see it's different color, meaning that from different components of the E-EAFM in ecological well-being component, human well-being component, and governance. In order to develop the objective, you need to think about the stakeholder. You should involve all possible stakeholders to develop your management objective, because your stakeholder know what is the most priority issue, and all the stakeholders should agree together what specifically for this issue you want to achieve. So you all agree together. This slide shows you some example of the good and bad objective. Again, I would like to talk about the management objective. Management objective is the objective that achievable through management action. If you do this action, you able to achieve the objective. These 2 example objectives. The first one, to reduce % of juvenile catch. Second, improve the health of the ecosystem. Do you think which one good, which one bad objective? Any idea? Yeah, first one is better. Our friends suggest that first one is better. Why is better?
It clearly defines the quantum of achievement what we want to do. It's a certain percentage of juvenile fish caught. The other one is very broad, improve the health of the ecosystem. How to measure it, we don't know.
Oh,
so the first one we know how to measure.
Thank you very much. Exactly correct. The first one is very clear what you would like to do. You want to reduce % of juvenile fish that will caught. Yeah. And the second one, improve the health. It's still not clear which area of the health. And health of the ecosystem still not specific. Which ecosystem? Coral reef ecosystem, mangrove ecosystem. Okay. So you make sure that when you develop the objective, it's clear and specific. What is an indicator? The indicator measures the current status at one point at time. So it can be temperature, can be number of fish, area of mangrove, and how you measure the indicator. It can be from direct measurements, such as coverage area of the mangrove. It also can be indirect measurement, such as you estimate the stock using catch rate, indirect. It also can be from your observation, from infrared, such as number of meeting, which can be indicator for the cooperation and coordination. Next 4 slides provide you example of the goal of the objective and indicator of each component. This one for the fishery resource example. The goal, the example goal here is maximize maximum sustainable yield for fishery. The objective is to reduce percent of juvenile catch in fishery. And the indicator is percent of juvenile fish at the sample site. In one goal, you can have more than one objective. Because you may need to do many actions in order to achieve the goal. Anyone who would like to share your idea about other objectives that support or able to achieve the goal? Would you like to share? Give some examples about the objective of this goal.
I will not make the example objectives, but then we have the objectives to reduce juvenile fish catch in the fisheries. So in our experience in GTs and SAMRC, we have reduced at least 40%. 40%. For that studies within 6 months period. So we were able, for the computation into that, how many metric tons for 6 months. But I still remember that it will account that for the benefits of the fisherman, it will be more than 400 million for 6 months. We will count that into benefits for money. So that's the system. But then for our resource example, could we mean that we have to focus only on that topic, on the juvenile? We will not include other activities for resource conservation in the area.
Oh, I think you can, as I mentioned before, in each goal you may have more than one objective. This is just the example. In your case, you share experience that you got, you have more specific, like reduce percent of juvenile by six months, something like this is more specific. But in other way, you also maybe can have another objective, such as reduce fishing effort to maybe 10% by 1 year is also another object, can be your another objective, right? In order to maximum sustainable yield for the fisheries.
Thank you very much.
Yeah, thank you, Ceremony too. This slide shows an example of the ecological components. The goal here is minimize impact on vulnerable and endangered species. In this case, they focus in the sea turtle. The objective here is minimize the number of turtle caught in the fisheries. And the indicator is number of turtle caught. Yes, you can have more than one objective. Who would like to share your idea about another objective of this goal? Any volunteer? Group?
Increasing compliance of TED use.
Increasing compliance of TED
use.
Yes, it also can also support the goal. Thank you very much. So the indicator is maybe the number of the fishermen that use the TED. Thank you very much. Or maybe in your area, maybe you have other endangered species in the different area in your project site, such as you may have sea turtle, you may have dugong, and the action for each endangered species may be different. So you may have one objective for the sea turtle, another objective for the dugong. The social example, the goal here is to maximum social benefit for the fisheries. The objective is increase or maintain employment. The focus on the social benefit here is employment. In the social example, maybe I provide another objective, such as your objective may to reduce your objective may be improve human health. Focus on health in the social benefit. Human health at national level by increasing the fish consumption, because you know that fish is really good source of protein, good quality protein. So your indicator can be like a fish consumption. The most difficult, I think, for the governance example. The goal is, the example goal is improve compliance and enforcement. The objective for this goal is to strengthen compliance and enforcement cooperation among different agencies. And the indicator is a coordination group formed, multi-agency compliance plan formulated, and group meeting regularly. Yeah, they often have a meeting with the agreements. It's very, for me, it's difficult. May I ask our friend who would like to share some other example for the governance? L stands for realistic. It should be realistic. This is for the objective. And T stands for time bound. You should have how many months, how many years you will able to reach the objective. How about the indicator? But S here stands same as objective. S here specific in time. In terms of quantity, quality, and time. And your indicator should be measurable. This is the same as the smart objective. It should be easy to measure with acceptable cost. And your indicator should, if possible, it should available from the existing source. Or if you have to collect, is with reasonable excise fund. Yeah. And the R stands for relevant. It should relevant to the objective and is sensitive to change, so you can see how it change. And T stands for timely, so it's ensure that your indicator is useful for management. If your indicator changes after 10 years, maybe it's, you cannot adapt in time. And baseline. Target is where you want to be. Yeah. Limit is where do you example. If I would like to reduce my weight, I have 3 numbers here. 45 kilogram. Do you think 50 kilogram is what? Is my target, is my limit, or is my deadline? 50 kilogram, more than 50 kilogram. 45 kilogram. Do you think 50 kilogram is? What do you think? Yeah, it's my baseline. It's baseline. Now I'm 50 kilogram. My base 50 kilogram. So it's where you have come from. It's my. How about more than 50 kilogram? It is my target or my limit? Limit. Yes, it's my limit. I don't want to be more than 50 kilogram. Reflect. You will tell you how well, how good you do for the action in order to achieve the objective. So after one more simple objective in this case, your objective is to reduce the fever of the sick patient. The indicator here is about the temperature of your patient's body, and the benchmark. Okay, how much you would like to reduce? Here is reduce to 37 degrees Celsius. And how fast you would like to reduce? Within today. So this is your target benchmark. Okay. This is another form of explain the indicator and the benchmark. This is the plot between the indicator versus the timeline. The line between the red color and the orange, the yellow. This one be a limit. And the line between the green and yellow line, this is your target benchmark, your benchmark. And the green line showing you the indicator, which in this case really is coverage area of the coral in your project site. At the beginning, your indicator is above the benchmark. When time pass, a lot of trawler enter to your area. So your indicator decrease, your coverage area of the coral decrease. Time pass, okay, now your indicator decrease until lower than your benchmark, lower than benchmark. So you start the E-EAFM activity, and if possible, you use the existing data. If you have already, so you can find data from maybe your friend's office. It will be good in terms of cost, in terms of budget spend, and also if necessary, scope the project area, and then you will hear again in the monitoring and evaluation session in step number 5. If in the startup B and startup A you identify very good stakeholder, you engage all stakeholder in the process. And if the stakeholder involved in developing the indicator and benchmark, you select the high priority issue, because actually you have so many issues, and if you focus in the low priority issue, it may, it's not impact to the success of the project. And the objective are paired with the indicator and benchmark if they're really linked to each other, so you will be able to assess whether the objective is being achieved or not. Okay, next. Yesterday you compared so many action, but again, this is action with your group work. If you still feel not so clear about the objective, about the benchmark and indicator, don't worry while you discussing in the group. I think you will more clear. Two for ecological well-being, one for fishery, one for environment, one for human well-being issue component, and one for the governance. I think you already done yesterday, right? And you already have goal. I suggest you will have 1 or 2 objectives, at least one. But if you think it's better to have 2 objectives or 3 objectives, it's also okay. And then you select the indicators and benchmarks for each management objective. After that, you paste all the things on the board. I will provide you about 20 minutes. And after 20 minutes, you discuss about your output.
Objectives we have to have the governance. Now at the moment, fisheries is very dependent on like this between the two countries. We need
Developing legislation for the agreements to develop for access rights.
okay. How did we measure it? How did we measure it?
This is for reducing the package, increasing compliance of TAD or DFD or anything.
เพิ่มขึ้น 10% 20%
คือเซอร์เวย์ก่อนเบสไลน์ใช่ไหมใช่ไหมเขาบอกว่าให้ทำ
Okay, so the issue was the bycatch issue, and then you have to think of an objective. What are you trying to achieve in bycatch? Are you trying to increase the bycatch?
Going to be in two municipalities.
in two municipalities.
Then it's not clear because
That is
they're
our-
saying that you're going to establish two marine
Refuge.
in
Dapat
11
nilagay natin. Dapat
two refuges in each of the 11.
11.
Each of the 11. So there'll be 22 refugees there.
22.
These are the main issues that you didn't go agree to.
Ecosystem-based fishery co-management for next generation in Trawl province. Okay, and we set 4 goals for basically of E-EAFM. Well, ecological well-being is restore sea gas area because it is our FM usually we have sea gas area that destroyed by trawl and bushmeat. So we want to restore sea gas. Indicator is sea gas area and benchmark is 10% per year. 10% per year. We started 2014 in cap reduced to less than 10%. Increase in enforcement by government.
I want to ask about increasing knowledge for stakeholders in E-EAFM. How we can measure that? Or you have the data? How many people or stakeholders will involving in this E-EAFM? So you want to increase them from, for example, if you measure that there are 50 stakeholder and right now only 30 stakeholder involved, so you will increase till 40 or maybe something like that. in human well-being, increased number of fish processing group. I don't know the situation in Philippines. I guess they have Thailand. I guess they have a large number of fish processing group with very good product, because I consumption some of them too. Need a high quality of catch. So what about if we increase the yield?
How we can measure? For example, if we invite 50 or 1,000 persons to a meeting and then we give them the knowledge and maybe like a plan and implement it and then draw and bring out issue, and after finish one day before going back home we send the interview all of them 100% check the interview, and then we can conclude that they have that knowledge or not, how many percent knowledge increase, something like this. And for that the fisher group combine into one group to make the crabland project. Then they have a high production of swimming crab, and then swimming crab is very expensive. If they have to sell fresh, is okay. And some of them, small one or not complete organ, they make them, or even fresh one, they make them boil and then scratch out of the meat only, and the skeleton use only the meat. How many? More than 10,000.
Like 10% or 80%. So what data or what input we need to set up a benchmark?
All in all, so here, because in that area you will lock and Todima, that area is what we call municipal waters. No activities supposedly for trawl fisheries, but then because of political will, most active commercial fishing boat go on fishing in that area. So we have to manage the area. Then clarification, Rishi, you can come back here after the other presentation of the country. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much.
You
And
can
any
ask
group
question.
would like to provide feedback for the Philippines?
We are only the supporting actors. They are the actors and actresses.
Something like the sense of ownership.
Yeah.
They have to enforce law and they have to guard the MFR.
Commercial species to know whether you're succeeding. How do you measure the recruitment of? It's not very smart. Okay, not very measurable. MFR.
It's better to do that.
Link to your objective. Okay?
Yeah.
Now that's the goal that we want to achieve. Under that, we have several objectives, but for the time being, I've indicated one objective, that is agreed binational legislation on fishing access rights. We check whether it has been achieved. We've indicated two indicators here. In fact, basically, one is going to be sort of an interim indicator. The interim indicator is periodic basically yearly, binational dialogues, and drafted by looking at the availability of a suite of binationally agreed generalized half-yearly dialogues in 5-year period. Basically, the benchmark is at the moment we do have dialogues, but they are not institutionalized.
This activity, we're trying to making the goals, issue, objective, indicator, and benchmark of our FMU. We have this 4 issue. Consider with the ecological well-being, human well-being, and good governance. Restore mangrove and coral area. So we have go to manage sustainable fisheries resources and increase manage sustainable habitat. Okay. Oh, okay. Okay. Okay.
Do the bycatch one.
Bycatch one, okay. The objective of the bycatch, we improve, increasing compliance of bycatch reduction device use by or bycatch reduction devices and improving selective GR.
Vietnamese group we saw that indicator should be more clear. Yeah, should be more clear. And for example, fishery income, it's not clearly.
Yes,
Kienzan province, exactly in Ha Tien, in E-EAFM. Our objective is reducing trawl of fishing vessels.